I've never seen or experienced any kind of crime in 5 years. When I was in America, everything that you were told about Vietnam, like watch out, it's dangerous, they'll steal, they'll do this. I've never experienced anything. My wife had a C-section, private room for 6 nights, and then at the end of when I paid the bill going out the hospital, it was just under $500. And we're talking a nice hospital, very professional, very nice, very clean, not like what you see on TV, you know.
This is Dan of Vagabond Awake, and I'm here with Brian. So Brian, we're here in Da Nang, Vietnam, and we met you out walking the other night, and we're happy you're willing to tell us your story. So where are you from, Brian?
I'm from California.
California. And how long have you been living here in Vietnam?
Well, I lived here since 2018, first for 3 years. Since then, I've been traveling back and forth. Now I'm back here to stay.
Back here full time now. What was it about Vietnam that made you say, you know what, I'm going to pack up and go? What are the qualities here?
Well, I used to travel here in 2016. At then it was like, you know, nice country. And then for some reason, I just wanted to come back. And so in 2018, I started coming back a couple months at a time. I just fell in love with it. I mean, it's just I like everybody's happy, you know, everybody's very friendly. Everything makes sense here, including get a lot of bang for your buck here.
Yeah, big bang for your buck. Huh?
And that's not the only reason, but the main reason is just the people and the free lifestyle. And everybody has patience, and it's like sort of a coffee country.
Yeah.
Where, you know, I really love coffee. And so I could sit down on have coffee for 50 cents on a little chair outside and watching the motorbikes ride by.
Yeah.
And it's just really enjoy it.
Do you find this as a peaceful country? Like the people around you seem very peaceful?
I find this country like very peaceful.
It is.
Very peaceful. I've never experienced in 5 years anybody angry, anybody upset. All the local Vietnamese people are always happy. It's like no one's in a rush here. Everything is slow paced.
Yeah.
I mean, you see like when people drive, if they want to make a U-turn in the middle of a busy street, no one gets angry. Everybody just sits and waits.
Yeah, no horn honking.
No horn honking, just okay. I mean, it's just different from the States.
Yeah.
Where everything is rush here, rush there, rush here.
Yeah.
You know, I got 10 minutes. I'm going to stop at Starbucks and get a coffee.
Yeah.
You know, and you're getting late. So, you know, it's just everything is just really relaxed here. That's what I really enjoy.
Yeah, sweet. And what part are we in Vietnam? And how did you end up in this part of Vietnam?
Well, this is Da Nang. When I first came to Vietnam, I lived in Saigon for 6 months.
Okay.
Which I loved the city, big city.
Right.
It's just it comes alive at night.
Right.
I mean, just the humming of all the motorbikes outside makes you want to go out.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's just sort of like New York, but 10 times of New York. I loved that for 6 months. And then after a while, I just was missing like the air quality.
Right.
You know, the air quality there can get pretty polluted.
Yeah.
And it's just a big concrete city.
Yeah.
Like if I wanted to go drive on my motorbike to the countryside, I really can't unless I go for hours.
Right.
You know.
It takes a while to get out.
Right.
It's like LA or something. It's so big, yeah.
I love Saigon, but I decided to come here because this is a beach community. The weather is nice.
Yeah.
There's no pollution. And if I want to go somewhere, it takes me 5 minutes. In Saigon, you're talking traffic. Like, I mean,
yeah.
You have to do stuff before 3 because within an hour, it's just packed.
Right,
so
right.
I came here because of the weather. Everything's 5 minutes away. And if I want to take a motorbike ride to Hoi An, that's 30 minutes to get away. Or if I want to go to Hue City, it's 2 hours on a motorbike. Or the mountains are right here. I could drive to the mountains.
Yeah.
It's just everything is just, you know, so close.
Yeah. And it is a beautiful city. And so when did you start coming to Da Nang has it been a few years?
I was here one time in 2018.
Yeah.
At that time, I was just new to Vietnam. So everything was just, you know, new to me. So I didn't know. But when I lived in Saigon, after 6 months, I'm like, man, I just feel like I want something different.
Right,
If I want to live here a long time, I want to live near the beach. I've always lived near the beach my whole life.
Right.
And so I started checking out Da Nang. I found a really nice apartment, and I was gonna sign a contract with it. But first I wanted to fly here and check it out first, the apartment, because you know, you always have to double check with pictures.
Absolutely.
So I came here, I enjoyed it, and then decided to move here and move my stuff from Saigon to Da Nang.
And then when you got here, did you start dating then, or were you single when you got here? How did that work?
I was single.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was dating. I mean, it's really refreshing dating here. That's all I could say. The women here are beautiful. I mean, they're just inside and out. I mean, they really care about you. They're really wonderful to you. They're really nice, good women.
Great, great. And were you dating online, or how did you meet your wife? You have a wife now, is that right?
Yes, I've been married now for 4 years.
Great.
We met online, and we met at a coffee house. And you know, she didn't know any English when I met her, so we sort of sat there and
sign language.
Did the best we can, you know. And so, just something about her, I really, you know, something about her. And then we stayed together, and after a year, we got married, and now she knows, you know, English very well.
That's great.
So, and I do know Vietnamese too. I can order food. I know money. I can get by.
Right, right.
It's not a problem.
Did it take a while to learn?
Oh yeah, it takes a while to learn, because the part of it is like north and south is sort of a different dialect.
Oh, okay.
So if I go to Saigon, they can understand me really well there and easily. But you know, if I go to Hanoi, it's difficult.
Okay.
But here in Da Nang, it's, you know, no problem. They tell me my Vietnamese is really good.
So if you were coming here as a single man, let's say on a tight budget, what do you think the ranges of the bottom range to medium range would be to live here?
Well, you could find a nice apartment for $200, $300 a month. It depends what you're looking for.
Right.
But if you're on a budget of $1,000, I mean, I think $1,500 might be the minimum.
Okay.
Just that gives you money to go out sometimes. It gives you some freedom to do things.
Okay.
But if you want more than that, you know, $2,000, $3,000, you're living, you know, a wonderful life, doing what you would like to do, eating where you would like to eat.
Do you eat mostly, would you say, in Vietnamese restaurants?
Well, a lot of times, because my wife's Vietnamese, so sometimes she'll come with me to my restaurants.
Right.
And then after that, we'll go to her restaurants.
That sounds familiar. Huh?
You know, I mean,
we do the same thing.
Yeah, it's like, but eating out in Vietnam is cheaper than really eating at home.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
You know.
You mean at home in Vietnam versus eating out in Vietnam, right?
Right.
Yeah, we find that to be true. We both love Vietnamese food, and we're paying like $1.50 per meal or something, right? Even less, $1.20.
Right.
We are here for almost like a month.
Yeah.
We're eating out 3 meals a day.
3 meals a day, yeah. It's so good we can't get ourselves to cook.
Yeah,
so.
it's just like great. Like to eat here, it takes a lot of work.
Right.
She goes to the market, gets the stuff for the day, cooks, and I mean, it's more than just going out and eating.
So finish this sentence for me. Don't come here if you think it's going to be...
Don't come here if you don't have patience, for sure. But
okay.
I mean, one thing is the weather. That's the difficult part.
Yeah.
The climate. You have to get used to the climate. But
The heat or the cold?
the heat.
The heat. So the summer months, because we're above the equator here. So.
Well, here in Da Nang, it's hot 8 months out of the year.
Right.
And then during the rainy season, it could rain for 3 months. I've been here when it's rained for 3 months before.
Wow. And it's rainy season now.
Yeah.
And it's been averaging like 80 degrees per day out
Correct.
here. And we're really enjoying it, honestly.
Yeah.
Because most of Southeast Asia is warmer. But you're right, it does get hot in the summer, doesn't it?
It gets really hot.
So what's a hot day in the summer? And
100.
And what's an average day in the summer, would you say?
90.
90. So
But the humidity makes it seem like it's 100 a lot hotter than it really is. Because when I look at my phone, I go, oh, it says it's only 89. It seems like it's over 100.
Right.
You know, and
so it's like from air-conditioned car to air-conditioned house during those months. Is that the idea? To air-conditioned mall to air-conditioned restaurant. Is that kind of the life?
Yeah, but you get used to it.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, here the culture is in the morning, like everybody will meet for breakfast. They'll meet friends in the morning. They'll do stuff in the morning.
Where it's cool.
When it's cool.
Yeah.
And then by 10 o'clock or 11, they'll have lunch. Then after that, take a nap until 2. Even businesses will close down a lot till 2.
Like a siesta in Latin America.
It's really like normal. And then after 2, you get up and then you start working again. And then by 4, 5 o'clock, the sun is going down. And then everybody goes out.
Life's happening again. Yeah.
And another thing with the beaches here, during the day, there's no one at the beach.
Yeah.
Because it's too hot. And the beaches here, everybody goes at 5, 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And then at night, they light up the beach with lights. So everybody goes at night to the beach.
Yeah. And it's very healthy here. I noticed a lot of people are out there exercising in the morning. Just the beaches are full of people exercising.
Yeah,
so.
in the morning. And because when I first got here back in 2016, I was staying at, you know, the 𝗏𝗏.
The what?
𝗏𝗏 Hotel.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was staying there and I go, man, it's like 5 in the morning and the beach is packed. I wasn't used to that, you know? And then during the day, there was no one there. So it's just a lot different.
How would you finish this sentence? Do come here if you think what?
If you think, I mean, if, for one, respecting the culture,
Right.
you know, respecting the traditions here,
Right.
and just have an open mind. When you come to a different country, you got to try and lose. It takes a while to lose, like that American thinking.
Right.
And then, you know, like when I first come here from America for the first 30 days, I'm not really comfortable because I'm still having that, you know, that mentality of American think like hurry here, or I'm, you know, complaining about this or something. But after a month, I finally get into the Vietnamese like culture here where just relax, everything is fine.
Yeah, everything's fine.
It's just, and it's really refreshing.
It is, yeah. Yeah, I love the peacefulness here. There's a lack of anger.
There is no, I mean, right, like I said, I've never seen anybody angry. Really?
True.
I mean,
it's crazy.
Isn't it like, it's so nice, like when I came here from America, the first thing I said was like, man, it made me believe there's still good in this world.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's
Totally.
like there's still...
It's like 1950s America or something.
Yeah. Like,
or, I don't know what year, but long time ago.
Yeah, and here the kids all play in the street in the afternoon like we used to do as kids.
Yeah.
You know, the parents are inside the house.
No play dates.
Like,
just kids enjoying
bad
themselves.
things just aren't in their thinking.
No.
Like when I used to date, you know, when I was back dating, like I'd go out with a girl around 10:30. Oh, you want me to drive you home or walk you home? No, why? You know, it's like, you know, right?
She's not worried.
They're not worried at all.
Exactly. So you've kind of answered this question. You feel safe living here, it sounds like.
Yeah, I feel safe. I've never seen or experienced any kind of crime in 5 years. And I've never had any worry in my mind as far as being uncomfortable in any situation where I'm at here.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have petty thefts sometimes. It's very rare, more in Saigon with phones.
Right.
But here in Da Nang, I've never experienced any negativity.
Yeah.
And even being American, you know, with the history that we have here with John,
Sure. Yeah.
I've never experienced one time anybody have an issue or with me being American or what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, and I've traveled from Hanoi to Saigon 2 or 3 times in remote little towns, and everybody's so friendly and happy. And
yeah, it's very nice.
You know.
We in terms of safety, we met an American a few days ago who bought his girlfriend a really nice watch, and she had left it in a bus depot, forgive me, a train depot, and 3 months later they went back, and that watch was in the lost and found.
Yeah.
And it was a nice watch.
I know. I know. I did that before. One time back in 2016, the first time I came here, I left my backpack on the bus and it had a brand new iPad in it, in the box.
Wow.
Yeah, and like an hour later, we called them and they still had it, and we came back and picked it up. But what I like to say is like when I was in America, and everything that you were told about Vietnam, like watch out, it's dangerous, they'll steal, they'll do this. I've never experienced anything. I've never experienced anything of what they were talking about. I think this is like the most friendliest, nicest country. I mean, I've had dealings with the government that have always been positive and never had an issue. The police have always been nice and friendly. I mean, they're smiling on their face, the police. I mean, they're nice. They're here to help you. They're not worried about crazy people.
Yeah,
That's
great. So are you spending part of the time now back in the US and part of the time here each year, or are you here for good now?
I'm here for good now.
Okay.
Because my mother passed away in October. So that's why I was in America traveling back.
I see.
Like taking care of her and watching her. And so I went through that and experienced, the death. And then, so about a month later, I came back out here for good. But I will go back now and then.
Visit family and stuff.
Visit family and I still have a car and home there, and so.
What about hospitals and healthcare here? Have you experienced anything with the healthcare department or the healthcare industry here?
Well, all my experience with the hospitals has been amazing.
Right.
I've been totally surprised. I've been totally happy with everything. I mean, I did have a child here with the hospital. I experienced the birth of a child and how they perform it, and it was just amazing.
What was the cost to have a child, just to give the people an idea compared to the US or other countries?
Well, my wife had a C-section, so we were scheduled to come on a certain day, so we got there and then had the C-section, and then we got a private room. I had a choice of a room with other families, but I chose a private room because, it's just nicer when you're trying to sleep and the baby. And so I got a private room for 6 nights. And then at the end of when I paid the bill going out the hospital, it was just under $500.
Under $500?
Under $500.
So 5 nights in a private room and a surgery, a C-section surgery for $500.
And we're talking a nice hospital, very professional, very nice, very clean, not like what you see on TV, This is just, like really, I was very impressed. I mean, all the nurses are so nice and friendly and care for you, and anything you need, they'll take care of you.
Right. That's an amazing story.
And one more thing I would say.
What's that?
To dentist work.
Oh, cool.
If you need dentist work, come here. Really, it's worth just paying for the ticket to come here to get it done.
Great.
I got all these down here done.
Oh, yeah?
And these are veneers.
Right.
$1,000.
So your bottom
We're talking
veneers.
8 teeth.
8 teeth. Wow. That's amazing.
And
I tell you, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, they do an amazing job.
There's no way I would have known.
It's high-end stuff. It's regular stuff, and I was just really impressed. I mean, I've had them for a couple of years now, and it's not an issue.
That's great. But
dentist work is very good here.
So, had you investigated any other countries before you came here? Did you look at Thailand or the Philippines, or were you drawn here only?
I've been to Thailand quite a few times, but just here is just. I really just have a love affair with Vietnam. That's the best way to put it. I mean, even with dating with the women, everybody is just good. Everybody is just good people and good, that's what I can say. I think it's just the best kept secret.
Yeah.
I really do. For me, and I have no complaints of anything.
Yeah. That's great. So do you have any advice for someone thinking about coming here? Maybe something you would do different or something you hadn't thought about? Or
I mean, the normal things. Come here for 6 months, try it out. You got to make sure. Another thing I would say as far as money, do not have a worry about somebody overcharging you for money. I mean, I've never experienced someone's, just because I'm a foreigner, they want more money. I've never experienced that. I've always had them chase me down the street because I left my change. I've never experienced anything negative regarding money.
Wow.
But you stay in like the local areas. If you're a tourist and you're going to the local bars, foreigner bars, and that's where you have to have your guard up.
Yeah.
You know, so just, yeah.
Stay in the local areas. That's great advice.
Yeah, and I don't drink or smoke, so I don't, you know, I only like coffee and smoothies.
Well, Brian, thanks so much for letting us into your life and letting people hear what it's like being in Vietnam from another person that's here enjoying it. And
yeah, I would suggest, even though the visa is probably tougher than other countries, but I would just say come and experience it and have an open mind. And, you know, if you're into dating, if you're looking for a lover, this is the place to be. If you find a Vietnamese woman that loves you, she will take care of you. She will look out for you. She'll, you know, really be, you know, you can trust her. You don't have to worry about anything. And yeah, it's just, you know, finding, because they're all good women. You know, they're all very nice, friendly. I mean, you could meet somebody walking down the street and go, "Hi, how are you? You know, would you like to sit down for coffee?" And they would. I mean, it's just the culture.
Yeah,
it's not, when you ask them, it's not like in America, "Oh my God, this guy's asking me on a date? No way," you know. It's more like just being friends.
yeah.
Like they'll sit down and have coffee with you or hang out with friends.
Very cool. Thank you so much, Brian.
Yeah. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Could you please help me with something? You've probably watched our guest star interviews on our guest star playlist. I interview people that have retired overseas. They share valuable information such as cost of living, safety concerns, finding love overseas, healthcare experiences, and money problems. If you'd like to share something that you have learned living overseas, please come to vagabondbuddha.com, click the More tab, click the Contact Me tab, and tell me about what you would like to share with my channel. Click the link in the notes below this video to get the resources discussed in this video, along with my free ebook, How I Fired My Boss and Traveled the World for 17 Years, and How I Pay for a Life of Full-Time Travel.